All right, sir.
All
We're
right.
back at David Antonio Garcia's nice little home studio here.
That's right.
We're going to do some frequency response analysis of his NS10's to see how they sound in his room.
That's right.
So, what I first want to hear is your thoughts on what do you think the response is going to be like? Maybe, do we have a piece of paper to draw on it? Maybe.
Yeah, we could use that.
See if you can explain to me in like a visual sense of what you think your room, the sound system sounds like. From like 20 hertz to 20 kilohertz.
I feel like it's going to be something like
Something like that.
Something like that, where there's like kind of like a hump around like maybe like I want to say that's like 800, maybe 1K.
1K?
Yeah. So like let's say this is like 1K. I feel like there's also a little bit of that bump too in like what is that? Usually around like 200, I would say.
So 200 hertz, a small bump?
Yeah, and then a bigger bump at like 1K.
1K.
And then there's definitely roll-offs at like, definitely like, when you reach like, maybe like 80, yeah, probably like 80, I feel like there's like a little bit of a roll-off.
Mm-hmm.
And then definitely at least by like 17, there's probably a roll-off. Okay.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so it looks like these ones have been, so it's got the same dent in it that I have. So I have a pair of these also.
Okay.
And it looks like it has the same dent that I do. But it looks like your little dust caps have been replaced.
Yeah. When Tristan got them for me while I was on tour, yeah, he just kind of like did some research. And what'd you find? That was like maybe something that someone did in the early 2000s, I guess.
Yeah, well, I think these are really new.
Yeah.
If you look at them, they're in great condition.
Yeah.
And he even has the covers for them, right?
I do, yeah.
These
These
ones?
little covers, yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen them with covers before, which.
And I have, you know?
Yeah.
And it's funny, like I did try out these speakers with and without the covers. Mm-hmm. I feel like they slightly do make, they slightly do adjust and influence the high end of these speakers.
Interesting.
I feel like they do, but I could totally be wrong. It's probably placebo like everything else in audio. So
yeah, we could do a measurement to see if it does make an effect.
That is true.
Yeah.
We can. We have
see if you're
science.
full of crap or not.
Yeah.
So I did listen to these when I had them in my possession for a little bit with my set, and my set are from 1979, like the late 70s, right after they started making them. So they're pretty old, but they're in great shape too. I mean, like the edges are dinged and stuff, but perfect functional shape. Mm-hmm. And it did have the white dust cap on it. And they sounded really, really close.
Yeah.
There was almost I couldn't hear any perceivable difference really between the two of them. And I had a little A/B switcher. I was going back and forth and listening to them. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't really tell the difference. So that's pretty good to know that these Yamaha speakers, even with like a 30-year difference, I guess 20-year difference in manufacturing, they still sound that close.
That's right, yeah.
So, but these are in great shape. You can tell there's like, I mean, there's dust and crap, but that's, it's going to be in all of them. But
that's my fault.
Maybe the bottoms are scraped up a little bit, but they're in great shape, I think. These are probably closer to the early 2000s, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, maybe like 2001, 2002, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't able to find information when I got them, but they do look super new, so that's cool. But yeah, I got my little measurement mic set up and Room EQ Wizard set up too. Mm-hmm. And we'll do the analysis and we'll check it out.
That's right.
So let's do this thing. 1/6. Let's go with that. 2020. Oi. Wow. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, that's flat.
So let's compare with the originals here.
Okay.
So we have, and we listened to, yeah, thanks. When we set the levels for the microphone and the speakers, we made sure that it was like just about the same level as when he listens to normally.
Yeah.
So we listened to the sweep, and he was like, okay, this is a little louder than what I normally mix at. So this is pretty accurate to what he's listening to. So this is his little chart versus. Obviously, there's that massive, like NS10's just do not do anything below 80 ever.
Yeah.
So he's got a massive dip there at 100.
At least I was almost right about that.
Yeah, and you said there was a little bump at 200, right?
Yeah.
Okay, looks like it was a little bit lower than that.
Yeah.
This was a bump at 150.
Nice.
A little bit lower than that.
Okay, that was
So
close.
you were real close on that one.
Yeah.
And then you said there was a bump at 1K, right?
Yeah.
Looks like, yeah. 1.2K. There's this massive hump.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. And then you also predicted a slope after 17K.
Yeah.
So if we do a little scrolling here, go a little further than that. This measurement went up to 20K. So we have, a huge,
Dip.
just fall off. It's right at 17.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's pretty accurate.
All right.
There's some other things. It's looking like you had a big old dip at 9K too.
Yeah, that's interesting to me. Yeah.
So if you look at the room and the space he's recording, and if you haven't seen the previous videos, I have a bunch of other videos of his studio going over it and taking a look at it. But this is his acoustic space. So he's got a big old cloud.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a nice little packing blanket where there's a window behind there. He's got some acoustic panels there.
Mm-hmm.
Got some more behind his listening position here.
Mm-hmm.
And then one in his first reflection. I think this is his first reflection point, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, nothing over there.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that there's a huge dip at 9K because there's all this absorption going on in here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of cool. But yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Not a crazy room.
Yeah.
At least I think so.
Yeah. I don't have any problems with the high end in my room. It's pretty flat.
Yeah.
But my low end is like this.
Oh.
It's less worse than this, I think. I don't have the measurements on this computer, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's crazy.
There you go.
How do you feel about this?
I feel pretty good overall as far as like the overall measurements of my room. Like it feels good knowing like what it actually sounds like now, and just seeing the actual visual behind it and knowing that I was actually kind of right about my predictions.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
fairly accurate.
Yeah.
I think maybe off by like 100 hertz or so, which is pretty good.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a lot more crazy stuff going on, but those are like
Yeah.
Our ears can't really perceive these huge dips.
Exactly.
Which is why, especially like way like down there, like there's it's weird. It's so what he may hear when he's recording bass is that some bass notes may just disappear in the room. Like
Yeah.
you might just not even hear it. Like maybe, let's say, I don't know exactly what 60 hertz is, but like let's say that's an A note, and you play that on bass, it just disappears.
Yeah.
But you go to the G and it's there again.
Exactly.
You know? So that may
Yeah.
happen. I don't know. Have you ever had that happen here?
It's usually been pretty clear to like decipher the bass notes, at least for me, when it comes to playing bass through these monitors. If anything, I just kind of like noticed that sometimes there is like a weird buildup, and I think that weird buildup is that 150 that we kind of explored right here, or I guess like 120. So, but overall, like it's cool seeing like the general visualization of the bass response of this room. And now we can compare if the covers actually make a difference.
Oh
for
yeah,
the
let's do that
NS10's.
next.
Yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Because my prediction is that they do actually sort of slightly effective, but like I could totally be wrong.
All right, apply the same smoothing. Wow, interesting. That's a big difference.
That is interesting.
Let's do some averaging. So I'll do 3 instead of just 1.
Yeah,
And then I'll average them together.
Yeah.
And then we'll take the covers off, and then we'll do another 3. So yeah, let's do that. We'll do so that we get a good average, because I think that might have just doing 1 wasn't good enough. Okay, so now we have the 2 comparisons. There's some crazy anomalies going on here, even though I averaged them all. So the blue curve is without covers, without those grill covers, and then the red one is with the covers. So, wow, it actually does make a difference in the hand.
I guess so, yeah.
Pretty slight.
Like, it's interesting, like, the main core of the room is still the same, but, like, yeah, it does affect how that high end actually, like, works, yeah.
Yeah, so the mid-range, like you said, stays intact, but once it gets past, like, 2.5K, it kind of gets squirrely. Mm-hmm. That's so weird.
Yeah.
I didn't think they had that big of a difference. But
Yeah,
yes,
right?
they do,
Because especially they're just such thin fabric, too.
With covers, it takes the high end down. I guess that's like that toilet paper trick.
Exactly, yeah.
where they put the toilet paper in front of the tweeters, and then it takes off some of the high end, like that harshness.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of cool that now they have them. Well, I guess eventually they decided it. Or did they always have them with? They must have always had them
Yeah,
with.
because I'm pretty sure all the speakers have these holes within them.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I'm assuming that they would.
Yeah, like the mounting holes.
Exactly.
Yeah, because mine for sure have those too. I just did. Mine are sold. I'm sure the girls are long gone.
Yeah.
They've probably gone before I was born. Glad we could take a look at this.
That's right.
Thanks for letting me measure your room.
Of course.
Hopefully you guys learned something too.
Yep.
All right. See, go ahead and watch the other ones too, because it gets interesting. We're gonna take a look at some other sessions, right?
That's right.
Yeah, your Logic sessions. Yeah.
Yeah, one of your favorite songs of all time.
Yeah. So I want to see his take because he does a lot of work within the local garden. What is this? Orange County area.
Orange County.
Yeah. Garden Grove.
Garden Grove.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Good stuff. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya.